Hey all, it's me, it's Johnny. So I want to talk about something different compared to my previous video. I didn't realize my previous video would have been so controversial, and to be frank, it was just on the fly, low effort. I was just shooting shit at the wall and just, you know what? Let's talk about this. Let's talk about how I feel about this, and from my understanding of how bullshit the economy was, but I'm not here to talk about that. No, 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 no. So, what I'm here to talk about today is fandoms. The thing with fandoms, fan communities and whatnot, and just how cancer they are. Like, can we just all come to a head and agree that a lot of these communities, these fandoms, these groups, they they can get pretty fucking crazy. All right. So, for example, a community I've experienced would be the Niji Sanji English community, especially the Niji sisters. They are some of the fucking craziest types of people you could ever interact with. They're crazy, absolutely crazy. They literally worship the ground that a lot of the male VTubers in Niji Sanji En walk. They just fucking worship the ground they walk on. It's crazy. And they're willing to like accept any sorts of bad behavior from a lot of them. Like they're willing to accept like sexual misconduct from some of them, how they treat others, even if they're outright abusive. Like it's insane how people's love for something can just make them not really see the full picture of what a person can do and how bad they can do to hurt people. Like, for example, like what's his name, Luka Kaneshiro. Dude was a pretty bad guy, and even after what had happened with the whole drama revealing, like, what is it, I think it was like a 30-page Google Doc, if I recall correctly. It was a lot of shit. Let's just say that it was a lot of shit from essentially a girl that liked him, from my understanding. I don't really fully know, but besides the point, besides that, it's really crazy how you can like someone and worship someone to the degree that you're completely blind to all the evil things that they do to people. Like, that's just insane. And even when the truth is blatantly in front of you, and you have verifiable proof that this person did these things, you just deny it. The Niji sisters just deny, and just didn't believe it. You know how wild that is? That's insane. And I can go further back with different fandoms that just are really, really toxic. For example, anyone remember Ruby from Rooster Teeth? That show, that fucking show? Dude, I remember watching Ruby when I was like fucking all the way back in like, was it like 2015, 2016 is when they released like the fourth volume, I believe. And everyone was really hyped and crazed about it since Monty Ohm died. But my god, the Ruby fandom was utterly atrocious. They accepted all this bad and shitty writing from the story and accepted how stupid the characters acted, which wasn't in line to how they previously acted in a previous volume of the series. Like, how can you justify, to me at the very least, that two characters, let me tell you the story of a pair of characters. So, just to put the long and short of it, there was one character that got fucking abandoned and lost their arm, and the other character ran away like a bitch. And later on, without any real inexplicable act of genuine forgiveness and friendship, when they finally get back together, they start getting into a romantic relationship. Like, really? Fucking really? like, the relationship between these two was forced because there was a fandom shipping them together. That's literally the reason why they got put together, is because Rooster Teeth said that fucking these two characters should get together because the fans want it. And it didn't make sense story-wise because of one character's missteps and literal fucking betrayal of the other, and just fucking ran away and left them for dead. By the way, they lost their arm, by the way. The character that got left behind, they fucking lost their arm, and now they're in love? What? Didn't make sense. It didn't make sense to me. But, you know, this was back in the years where, like, the, you know, just make them gay and everyone accepts it as perfect writing was, like, the acceptable thing to do back in those days. Nowadays, it's kind of, like, oversaturated with, it's like, oh, they're gay. Okay, and? Like, what's the story behind those two? They're gay and? Like, I think that period of time has finally passed, thank God. I mean, it still happens here and there. It definitely happens because Hollywood is just really behind the times. And a lot of people still like to do that sort of shit just for the sake of it, just to make themselves be perceived as virtuous because they have a gay character, whatever the fuck that means. But I feel like people's standards for writing have certainly upticked because, my God, all the fandoms that just accept shitty writing because in previous years what their stuff was, it was good. Like come on. You gotta have some sort of standard. Then let's get on to like some gaming fandoms. There are some video game fandoms, fan communities that are so fucking weird and blatantly pretty toxic. Obviously one would be like fucking CSGO. I think everyone kind of understands that CSGO is pretty fucking toxic. Same with League of Legends. League of Legends is probably more toxic than CSGO. I can see CSGO being a little less toxic. I bet you it's still pretty toxic, but League of Legends is pretty fucking toxic. Hence why even people from that fandom say, don't fucking play this game. Don't play this game. This game is terrible. You're gonna ruin your life if you fucking touch this game. Which I find fucking hilarious. Like, it's like they perceive it as a drug. In a way, it kind of is a drug. Because whenever you start playing League, it just starts going downhill. Like, you start feeling good once you start really learning the mechanics of the game. But then, as time goes by, oh, dude, it gets pretty shitty. You start feeling bad, and you need bigger hits and bigger dopamine hits. It just doesn't end well. You know, even despite the massive esports scene around League, I feel like a lot of people still perceive League with this terrible reputation because of the community that surrounds League, because it's just so fucking bad. And even despite Riot's attempts at fucking throttling any forms of toxicity, like, you're never going to really get rid of it. I feel like it's just fundamentally a part of what League of Legends is at this point, is just the toxic and shitty community behind it. Like, I just don't think there's any means of getting away from that. Then, I guess, from video game fandom to just, you know, media fandoms, I guess we can go to, like, content creation fandoms. Like, people who fucking worship Mr. Beast that's pretty fucked up. Especially after all the things that we learned about Mr. Beast and essentially his neglect and abuse to a lot of the competitors when he did his game show shit, and a lot of the challenges he put these people through just to earn money, because, you know, he was hanging in and dangling cash for just doing this challenge, and, you know, this is like life-changing amounts of money to do it, and fuck me, is it really, really shitty to force some dude to, like, walk on a treadmill after being so fucking exhausted and essentially, like, walk a marathon, and his feet felt like shit. I would have fucking just said, fuck you, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Screw this. This is bullshit. And yeah, that fandom around Mr. Beast is fucking, in my opinion, pretty fucking evil. Like, this dude, just because he uses charity and spends money on charity, does not give him the excuse or the shield to say, oh, well, I give to charity, so it doesn't matter what I do. Like, you can't do that. That's bullshit. You know? And in the past, a lot of people didn't like to publicly show themselves giving to charity because, you know, it's a place of humility whenever you do give to charity. Like, it should be a place of humility. Why should we elevate someone who gives to charity when they, you know, show their face and give a fat stack of fucking cash to the charity? I mean, it's a good thing, but I feel like it's soiled, it's poisoned. The good act is poisoned by trying to make it into a PR stunt. That's why I feel like a lot of people should just do charity in silence. Like, charity in silence is a lot better than, like, showing your face and fucking saying all this stuff and making the speeches and whatnot. I feel like doing charity in silence is it's far more better than fucking milking a guy's ego and saying, oh, you're a saint, you're a god, or whatever, because you give the charity. I really don't agree with that. I don't agree that you're automatically a good person because you just give the charity. That's just stupid. That doesn't do anything to make you a good person. It just says, oh, you give money to charity. That's nice. But that doesn't really inexplicably say anything about your character. There are tons of evil people that give the charity just for the tax write-off. Doesn't mean that they're good people. Like, you kidding me? Doesn't mean that they're good people at all. And man, just the worship of all these things, it really puts things in perspective and makes you think twice when getting into a fandom. It's like, am I being an idiot right now? Am I worshiping something and, like, literally blinding myself to all the bad things that are surrounding this? Am I doing that? So that's what I like to leave off with, is just, you might want to think twice about joining a fandom and really put yourself in a perspective and ask the question, am I lying to myself? Am I deceiving myself? Am I putting rose-tinted glasses over my eyes and only seeing the good things and not also seeing the bad things associated with this? And when you do, maybe it might be a good idea to call out bad behavior when you see it in your own community. Doesn't mean that you have to be mean about it, but that also means that you shouldn't tolerate bad behavior if you want your community to thrive and be healthy. Because fuck me, if you want your community to be like League of Legends, I mean, that's kind of up to the community's sake, but I don't know. I just don't think that's a really healthy way to have a decent community. I mean, I don't deny that there are nice people in these communities, that all the communities I've mentioned. It's just that there's a lot of bad stuff that just goes unchallenged. No one challenges the bad things that people do just for the sake of being a part of the community or worshiping the guy because they are just so blind to it. So that's what I'll leave off with, is you just need to step back and look at the full picture when you start engaging in something that you love, essentially worshiping it. Alright, thank you for listening. I'll see you guys later.